Why Salah's move to Trabzonspor feels so different to Messi and Ronaldo. From a mixed zone in Beeston on a wintry afternoon to a sweltering summer by the Black Sea. Everyone knew Mohamed Salah's time at Liverpool was up 8 months ago. After all, he spoke from under a bus at Elland Road. Salah had been thrown there by the club.
Love watermelon but hate the sticky cutting mess? This compact 2-in-1 tool slices neat cubes and flips into a retractable fork for easy serving at parties, picnics, or home. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/3 right now.
He claimed, "Someone doesn't want me," at Liverpool, incendiary words, discordant with his smiling and adorable Kermit-style syntax. They betrayed an ego that, as with Lionel Messi, is much less obvious than other players of similar generation-defining profile, such as Cristiano Ronaldo. Advertisement, the expectation was Salah would leave in far from ideal circumstances once the January transfer window opened and Egypt's Africa Cup of Nations campaign had concluded. Liverpool could at least then command a fee and recoup more of what they spent in a record and profligate summer transfer spree. Salah's time at the club was over, or so it seemed. No matter how bad the results, Liverpool backed Arne Slot, and so a 2-0 win against Brighton and Hove Albion on December 13 threatened to be Salah's final game at Anfield. His return in mid-January came as a surprise, surpassed only by what has happened in the past week. Emotionally and practically, selling Salah seemed harder than expected. Ultimately, Liverpool made it easier on would-be suitors. In March, it was belatedly announced that, with a year to run on his contract, he would be leaving for nothing at the end of the campaign. Proof of no hard feelings toward an all-time great. If interested clubs weren't already aware of Salah's availability, they were officially put on message. It gave Salah and his representative plenty of time to line something up before the World Cup. They were at an advantage, knowing any club would only have to negotiate with them. By the time the tournament began, however, Salah's next destination was still a mystery. The saga went on longer than you would expect for a player of his talent, even if, once it began, a 6-week World Cup slowed the market. As the stars came out at the tournament, Salah scored just once. In fairness, he did not have the supporting cast Messi, Ronaldo, and Erling Haaland could call upon. No one should forget his team also felt cheated in their 3-2 defeat against Argentina. But could more have been done against Iran and Belgium to top Group G, giving them a different path? Advertisement in July, Salah's agent Rami Abbas Issa tweeted on X, "I personally do not know where Mohamed will play next season. What does that tell you? Many things. Could an image have formed of Salah, in his last year at Liverpool, as more difficult and less decisive? Did the salary being demanded misjudge the market?" Only a year ago, Salah had, in fairness, put himself firmly back in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. He looked as good as ever in Liverpool's title-winning season, with 61 goal involvements. In the end, he didn't even make the Ballon d'Or podium, paying, perhaps, for Liverpool's round of 16 exit from the Champions League. Still, his form had earned him a new 2-year contract, making him the highest-paid player in the club's history and one of the best paid in the world. The deal seemed simultaneously irrational and rational. After all, Salah was about to turn 33. He possesses abs Ronaldo probably sees as a threat. His peak, as has proven the case with other athletes of this generation, seemed longer than players of a bygone era. It must have come as a surprise, then, when Salah's output, in terms of goal involvement, declined 45%. He didn't have Luis Diaz pressing or attracting defenders on the other side. He looked exposed, a far less extraordinary player on an extraordinary wage. In mitigation, last season could have been an aberration. Liverpool went through a lot last year on and off the pitch, but how do you go from prospective Ballon d'Or to Trabzonspor? This isn't to diminish the Turkish Super League or Trabzonspor. If Salah is still the same player he was in 2025, it is an extraordinary coup from their president, Ertuğrul Dogan. After all, this is a summer in which Real Madrid are looking for a player in Salah's position. A not insignificant fly in the ointment may have been Madrid's coach, José Mourinho, who let him go at Chelsea in 2015. Once upon a time, Madrid would perhaps have looked upon Salah as a Galactico, one worth the risk, even at his age, for the power surge it would give their already scintillating aura. In hindsight, you wonder if the Eden Hazard experience taught them a lesson about taking a player with Premier League wear and tear, even for free. Advertisement elsewhere, Barcelona are building their future around Lamine Yamal. Bayern have Michael Olise. His French teammates Desire Dow and Bradley Barcola take turns to play for Paris Saint-Germain. In Italy, Milan have marketing phenomenon Christian Pulisic, while Juventus have never recovered from signing Cristiano Ronaldo at the same age. Former clubs Fiorentina and Roma would have been romantic options, as both are entering their centenary years. Neither, however, could come close to affording him even if they desired a reunion. The paring back of the tax break included in the growth decree has made it hard for Serie A clubs to attract talent. UEFA's new financial regulations, such as the squad cost rule, in which the wages-to-turnover ratio mustn't exceed 70%, didn't help either, particularly in Roma's case. They were already over and fined €4 million, £3 and 4 pence M, $4.6 M by UEFA in July. No sooner did Trabzonspor exit their financial fair play settlement agreement with UEFA than they signed Salah. You probably have to go back to Wesley Sneijder in January 2013 to find a player moving to Turkey when not so far removed from a Ballon d'Or-worthy campaign. Other top players are in the Super League, such as Victor Osimhen. The 27-year-old Nigerian is much younger and entering his prime. As such, it beggars belief he is at Galatasaray. You can't help but marvel at the club's ambition in signing him. It is a huge club with an immense history. By the same token, you also can't help but ponder what has gone wrong in Osimhen's career if he is already playing outside the top 5 leagues. This is less the case with Salah at 34. In the immortal words of Mourinho during his brief time with Fenerbahce, nobody abroad watches the Turkey League. It's too gray, too dark, smells bad. This is harsh and hyperbolic even if the league was mired in a refereeing scandal last season, one the Turkish Football Federation has sought to resolve by appointing Anthony Taylor as the director of elite refereeing. This is a beautiful part of the world. Maybe Salah is a Silk Road enthusiast and likes kaymak and hamsi, the local cheese and anchovies. There is perhaps some romance to be found in breaking the Istanbul Giants' grip on the title. Except Trabzonspor already did that 4 years ago with Merk Hamsik and Andreas Cornelius. As a twilight move, it is not his former Roma teammate Daniel De Rossi taking a pay cut to play for Boca Juniors. Advertisement: it is not Ronaldo going to Saudi Arabia as the on-field face of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030. It is not even Messi going to Inter Miami to plant football's flag in South Florida before a World Cup in the United States. Salah joining Trabzonspor casts things in a different light. Maybe Slot was right to bench Salah at Leeds if his level began to approximate UEFA's 9th best league, based on the Confederation's coefficient, rather than its best. Maybe he is a player who should be preparing for the Europa League playoffs instead of the Champions League. We to him, he to us in awe, Trabzonspor posted on social media. Biz ona Heron person mail pic, Twitter, com/8Q3G21C6 Trabzonspor, at Trabzonspor, August 5, 2026. On the one hand, the future starts slow. On the other, life comes at you fast. Too fast to understand what's really happened here.